Well, you're responsible for keeping that private.
Up to my yard, so I feel like
I have a legal right to do that.
inside the car.
I wasn't inside your car.
You was.
No, I wasn't. Your window's shut. I have it on camera. If I can see it, I can record it.
Hello, and welcome back to Legal Dissent, where we evaluate your constitutional rights before they're taken away. Today, we evaluate the footage of a brand new auditor named America Lost, who's filming at a marijuana dispensary in Mesa, Arizona just a few days ago. The links to the video, his channel, and all of the case law and statutes are located in the description below. Please visit his channel and let him know that Legal Dissent sent you. America Lost is walking on a public sidewalk as he approaches an encounter between the police and a street preacher who is exercising his First Amendment freedom of speech to spread his message.
What's going on, man? Hey, this is a public sidewalk. He can be here if he wants. It's a First Amendment protected activity, man. You can't violate his civil rights.
We chose to do the business right next to the sidewalk.
It's a First Amendment, man. You don't own the sidewalk. This is public. We pay for this with our tax dollars. You might not agree what you have to say, but he has every right to say it.
The freedom of speech and the exercise of religion is guaranteed in the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, going as far to say that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The Supreme Court evaluated this in Coates v. Cincinnati in 1971 when a city ordinance was used to arrest students that were demonstrating in a labor dispute. The court held that constitutional freedoms cannot be limited simply because of public intolerance or animosity. Further, that the government cannot criminalize annoying behavior. While the government is allowed to enact legislation aimed at serving legitimate government purposes, such as preventing people from blocking the sidewalks, obstructing traffic, littering, etc., it cannot constitutionally do so through the enactment and enforcement of an ordinance whose violation may entirely depend upon whether or not a policeman is annoyed. In Frisbee v. Schultz, the Supreme Court once again evaluated another city ordinance that criminalized all forms of picketing in residential areas in response to many complaints about pro-life demonstrators protesting outside of abortion clinics. When determining the level of scrutiny that should be applied to the ordinance, the court had this to say about public streets and sidewalks: that wherever the title of streets and parks may rest, they have immemorially been held in trust for the use of the public. The court quotes Perry Education Association versus Perry Local Educators Association, stating that the state must show a regulation is necessary to serve a compelling state interest and that it is narrowly drawn to achieve that end. Further, they may enforce time, place, and manner regulations that are content neutral as long as they leave open ample alternative channels of communication. Therefore, America Lost is correct in coming to the defense of the street preacher, and he does have the right to express his message on the public sidewalk, regardless of any level of annoyance he causes to his captive audience.
What are you doing? Taking filming on my computer.
Well, you're responsible for keeping that private.
America Lost is correct here. You are legally allowed to film anything that you are allowed to legally observe. Individuals only have a right to privacy when they have a reasonable expectation of privacy. This is determined by if the individual has exhibited a subjective expectation of privacy and if society is prepared to recognize that expectation as reasonable. In this instance, anything that is exposed through the transparent windows of a vehicle in a parking lot that is accessible to the public would not have a reasonable expectation of privacy, and America Lost is able to record without ramifications.
Up to my yard, so I feel like
I have a legal right to do that.
inside the car.
I wasn't inside your car.
You was.
No, I wasn't. Your window's shut. I have it on camera.
Up here inside the car.
If I can see it, I can record it.
This is absolutely ridiculous that the officer is attempting to claim that America Lost was inside the police car. The window was shut and the door was closed, and it would be physically impossible for the auditor to be inside of the vehicle unless the car was unlocked. which I'm sure an officer would never leave a running patrol car unlocked, especially with the amount of technology and weaponry located within that SUV. Right?
That's
You can see on the sidewalk, but this is private property.
Did this business owner contact you? Okay, I'm on the sidewalk. What's your name and badge number, officer?
Officer Guernsey, 16412.
Okay, thank you very much.
I was in line for a while, and all they're doing on the sidewalk is preaching.
They don't care about that. That doesn't.
Not too
Who's
loud.
this guy?
My husband.
Krista, don't talk to them.
It's just freedom of speech.
Hey.
And people were being so mean
Hey,
to him.
hey.
And we were actually
Krista, I
worried
have
about
the
his
mask on. They're
safety.
going to do facial recognition. Please stop.
I just don't appreciate you walking up to my window that way.
Well, you should keep that private.
You don't need to walk up to the window.
There's no law against that.
You don't need to walk up to my window.
Please don't call my name.
Again, this officer doesn't seem to understand that people are allowed to walk up to your window and see what is inside. There is nothing wrong or illegal about that. In fact, police do it all the time when they conduct traffic stops to escalate investigations. It's called the plain view doctrine, and it allows officers to seize contraband that are able to be seen in plain view without a warrant. As usual, it's police officers getting upset when the rules begin to apply to themselves.
There's nothing wrong with video. It's just
I know there's a slippery slope when you do that, but
the
there's.
whole thing is just I've got an AR-15 and
That's fine.
that's all.
I mean, I'm sure it's locked up. Yeah, so. I understand, but there's no law against it. That's the thing, so.
Have a good day.
You too. I appreciate you. Thank you for holding up your oath.
It's not the auditor's problem or issue that the officer has an AR-15 in his vehicle. It is the officer's job to ensure that confidential documents and items remain that way. What do you guys think? How do you think the auditor did for his first time? Let us know in the comments below. If you have videos you'd like us to review, please send them our way, and we'll see you next time right here on Legal Dissent.